right, man, I got to crack up about this. Welcome back to the channel, subscribers. Bob Arum really putting it on Eddie Hearn, man. He's really putting it on Eddie Hearn in a very surprise move. The WBC mandates a fight between Vasyl Lomachenko, and Luke Campbell for the vacant WBC lightweight championship. Bob Arum is putting it to Eddie Hearn. And let me explain. This might not be that obvious right off the cuff why I say that, but I'll explain it and you'll see a pattern. Before I do though, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also when we do our live stream, and definitely our live streams on Sunday, the OG Boxing Talk, and also check out the Patreon. We got more stuff coming up with that. All right, man. This is why I put the pipe to him. Mikey Garcia vacates the WBC title, right? Becomes like champion emeritus or something like that so he can say he has a title. But he vacates it. And now there should be a vacant spot. And they should have a fight between people that are ranked within the WBC to get that fight, to get that title, right? Now, it just so happens that two of the top three fighters that are in the rankings for the WBC are fighting on DAZN. You have Luke Campbell, and you have the second place guy is Abdulaev, but he's not available. The third is Devin Haney, who just got signed to Matchroom. When that fight when Eddie Hearn signed Devin Haney, I was like, wow, okay, either Devin Haney or Luke Campbell is going to get their hands on the WBC lightweight championship. Good move from Eddie Hearn. Excellent move from Eddie Hearn. But now the WBC has ordered that Lomachenko get a shot at that title against Luke Campbell, who he is going to beat the brakes off of. Bob Arum. That ain't nothing but Bob Arum. And it's funny because this is the second fight in a row where Vasyl Lomachenko is going to fight a matchroom fighter as a mandatory. The last fight was $1 Million Corrala, who he busted up and embarrassed. And now this one is going to be Luke Campbell, who he's going to bust up and embarrass. Now, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom went from having a surefire lightweight champion to having a surefire L for one of their up-and-coming fighters. Now, this will be the second time. I do believe that Luke Campbell will be fighting for a lightweight championship. The first time was against Jorge Linares. He put up a good fight against Jorge Linares, but don't count no way, shape, or form on him putting up a good fight with Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko is going to absolutely bop this dude up. And Devin Haney, that might have been the best thing to happen to Devin Haney, because Devin Haney, hopefully, let me rephrase that, hopefully he got a good contract, because I know he's expecting to get that shot at that lightweight title. But now, because he's ranked number 3, he should be. If things were run by the way that they usually run, right? However, you know Bob Arum, even with the WBC, Bob Arum got away with the WBC to make what fights are ordered or the way that you would expect them to go away. You remember when Jose Ramirez and Regis Prograis were supposed to fight each other in a tournament for the WBC 140-pound title, but then as soon as Jose Ramirez got his hands on those belts first, Regis Prograis didn't get no shot at it, and he had to go the WBA route, and I think he might be, now had to take that World Boxing Super Series route to get that fight made. Man, but look, here's the thing, I don't even mind this. I think this is an incidents where some sneakiness, I think, really does help create a better picture at the lightweight division, because we know who the top lightweight is, dude. Well, let me phrase it this way. Having Vasyl Lomachenko fight for that WBC belt and unify 3 belts that makes that vacant belt get us one step closer to the unification fight. And then he's just got one more to fight Richard Comey, and the winner of Richard Comey and Vasyl Lomachenko could be the unified 135-pound champion. And that I'm 100% in favor of. I like that much more than either Devin Haney or Luke Campbell getting that belt, because if they did, then Eddie Hearn's going to play it. Then Eddie Hearn and both Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum can have all those games going on between each other, milking the fight out, doing all that other kind of stuff. But man, I find that funny, man, because I know Eddie Hearn and Matchroom about to pitch a fit about this one. And if it goes to purse bids, you know what's going to happen. They're not going to win that purse bid. That fight's not going to the zone. The lightweight championship title fights will not be happening. Because that was going to be a DAZN fight. That Devin Haney versus Anthony Corrala were going to be, not Anthony Corrala, excuse me, versus Luke Campbell. That was going to be a DAZN championship fight. And now it's not. Now it's going to be another fight for ESPN where Lomachenko can look for his 3rd title at lightweight. Hey, man. Bob Arum knows what he's doing. And again, I don't even mind it, because that means three of the belts are unified. And honestly, I wish they would do a little bit more of that. But honestly, man, I think maybe it's a case of what's good for the goose is good for the gander, because there was a petition made by Lomachenko and Bob Arum to make that happen. The WBC just didn't pull that out of their backside. Bob Arum and Lomachenko's promoter made a request to have that happen. And they said, okay, cool. Similar to the way that Eddie Hearn made a petition to have the IBF champion fight. Was he the IBF champion at the time when he fought Charles Martin? Oh, no. I think it was to allow the vacant title to be between a former champion in Vladimir Klitschko and contender in Anthony Joshua to get that fight with Charles Martin. No, for the vacant WBA belt. Excuse me. It was for the vacant WBA. It was for the vacant WBA belt. Anyway, man, after he had already had the IBF, that's what it was. You had a petition for the IBF championship for champion who was Anthony Joshua and allow him to fight Vladimir Klitschko for the WBA belt and bypass Luis Ortiz. So, these type of things have happened in the past. It's fun. It's funny. But I've been telling you, and I'm going to tell you again, Eddie Hearn underestimated. He went after Al Haymon and trying to sign Al Haymon fighters and all that. I'm telling you, man, that dude was making enemies. You had Bob Arum out there saying on the stage with with Vasyl Lomachenko and $1 Million Corralla that fight was shoved up their ass because they didn't want to fight. They didn't want to fight Corralla, and Eddie Hearn did that to try to sneak Bob Arum and have Bob Arum have to have Lomachenko fight on DAZN for a fight. So now, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You have Bob Arum sneaking Eddie Hearn. This is like Days of Our Lives or some soap opera or something. Have Bob Arum sneak Eddie Hearn and steal that WBC lightweight title, because that ain't no fight between Luke Campbell and Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko gonna win that going away, and it's right too, because if you have an opportunity, and I'm saying it's right from a boxing standpoint, not a rule standpoint, but honestly, man, the way the WBC rules are written, because I've read the rule book, they can do whatever they want, whenever they want to do it, however they want to do it, as long as the president of the WBC, thinks that it's in the best interest of boxing. And clearly they're going to think that unifying all three belts and getting us one step closer to unification of the division, having one true champion, is in the best interest of boxing. Not in the best interest of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, no. I can't wait to see what the response of this is going to be. But Eddie Hearn gets his fight. He just doesn't have a win-win pop. It just changes from a win-win proposition, right? A number 1 and a number 3. Number 1 ranked guy is Luke Campbell. I don't know how he's number 1 ranked over I don't see why he's ranked number 1 over there, but he is ranked number 1 over there. And Devin Haney, who's ranked number 3 over there. That was going to be a match. That was going to be an all-around matchroom fight. It isn't anymore. Anyway, it is what it is. I find that hilarious. And with that, I'm out. Peace.